Hello and welcome to the Creative Arts Department. This is the Art and Design for Key Stage 4. This quote, "Creativity takes courage" by Henry Matisse, is a really important quote for the pupils to understand, and I think it really sort of expresses their journey that they go through at GCSE. So this is a brief overview of the course and content at Key Stage 4. So this is the learning journey the pupils will take on from after they've chosen their options in Year 9. So the course does start in, halfway through the February, and that is when the GCSE course will start. And this here is the learning journey where they will be learning about photography, mixed media, chalk, ink and pen, different drawing skills. Again, they move through looking at some of these skills within sculpture. I have an example of that later on in the video of where they use this. And then they move into Year 11, where it's much more of an independent and personal choice. And they know how to use oil pastels, pens, paints to create some of their works, going through into their own personal ideas. And finally, they have their independent choice and they have their 10-hour exam at the end. So this here is a do now activity, and this shows how we sort of investigate certain sort of ideas and concepts with students. This is looking at abstract language. The pupils are asked to question what they think abstract language is, and so the do now here is draw out an image you think most looks like the sound of traffic. And typically the students will go for this top right hand one, which is where it looks like traffic. And these other ones, when we start sort of like exploring that and we start having conversations, they will then discuss and share their ideas as to which ones look most like the sound of traffic and why would that be the case, using the formal elements of colour, tone, line and texture. This allows for a deeper understanding around the pieces of artwork. So how we assess in art and design and our expectations, we'll model some exceptional work through the fruit sculpture projects that I do and the resources that the pupils will use. So the Key Stage 4 course structure, they have 60% coursework, portfolio, mock exam, which is 10 hours, and this will be in the January of Year 11. And then they start in the February the exam ESA mock paper, which is worth 40%. So, and this is given by the exam board. This year, it will be set by me, and it engulfs the 100% of the coursework. So we're still structuring the course like how it would be. However, they will be having it as coursework. They're marked as 100% coursework. However, they will be sitting this 40%, because they will be able to make more projects, okay, and we will be able to assess them holistically for 100% of their coursework grade. However, structuring it like this allows for us to have access to them really sort of producing some excellent pieces of work. So they need to also demonstrate all of those assessment objectives. Okay, for example, AO1 is the exploration of artist's work and responding to the artist's work to gain inspiration for their own work and their ability to explain why they've created the piece and what has inspired them. Okay, so they're also going to be practical and creating artwork using a range of different art materials, as I've discussed in the learning journey earlier. So this is what the course looks like. We have their taster sessions. They then start going into make and break. And this will then continue on through. With the Year 10s, for example, we've continued with make and break going through. And in Year 11, they will start the collections project due to COVID. Okay, so because COVID has obviously, we have taken out one of these projects, but we've continued this first project, Make and Break, that will continue all the way through. And then when the students start in year 11, they will start their collections project. So the year 11s who've started now, they're on collections, and then they will be creating in this spring an externally assessed assignment, which is a theme that will be set by me, not by the exam board, but they do need to prepare in exactly the same way to come out with the outcomes. And as I've said before, this is 100% coursework this year. So this is how we are assessed. Okay, AO1, AO2, AO3, AO4. So if you look at AO1, it's about developing your ideas with artists, research, analysis of artist work, annotation about why you've chosen the artist's work, mind mapping ideas. This will then lead you into experimentation of trying out new techniques, using new materials, improving and developing those practical skills within painting or whatever that might be, refining those down and a response to some of the artist's work or areas that you are looking into. AO3 is recording. This is about taking photographs, drawing from primary observations, painting, making, writing, printing, annotation about why you've created it, how you've created it, okay, and sketching. And AO4 is then presenting in your sketchbook. Each piece is a piece of sort of work within itself, designing and making a final piece, links to the artist and creating a final outcome that responds to your artist and theme. So there will be a final outcome that the pupils come up with to show this creative process through from AO1, AO2, AO3, AO4. And they are all marked within 24. So each one is worth 24 marks. Okay, and then you have the breakdown here on this page where if they get 24, they're an exceptional ability within each of these areas. 20 and below is a highly developed ability. Okay, so are they highly developed in their ability to effectively research artists? Okay, and then a consistent ability to effectively research the artists. Are they a moderate ability to research the artists? And they tend to lie within a band of this. They won't jump from down the bottom of moderate to being an exceptional ability up here to then being a consistent ability. They will run across a line because all of their work is interweaves with each other to show this type of ability. Okay, key stage 4 is art studio times. All right, so they have 2 hours of art home learning a week. That will either be set by me on Google Classroom or it will be an independent work. So they will always have work that they're completing in their sketchbooks, whether that's a drawing, a piece of writing, anything around those areas. So, and it's really important that they come into the art studio where I have specific times and they can create and making sure that they have space for this is very important. Tutorials will be given out by myself. We will discuss their work to know how that they're going to develop forward about what they need to complete and work on in their sketchbooks. It will allow for the students to be prepared for the lessons coming with a piece that they've already created that week. It needs to be practical where they're creating the artwork. So if this is a drawing or, you know, an experiment with a certain material, they need to sort of like be creating those. This is an independent time in Sketchbook. Students can always work on something. When they say, I have nothing to work on, okay, which is often what we sometimes get at the beginning in year 10, but hopefully not later, they can complete one of the assessment objectives. Okay, so those are these. Are they trying a new technique? Are they doing an artist response? Have they analysed a piece of artwork? Have they taken some photographs? So there's always something within their project that they know that they need to be working on. So here are the studio times. Wednesday, 4:15 to 6 p.m. Thursday, 3:25 to 5. Friday, 3:30 to 5:30. This will be when they're preparing for their mocks, which they will be having this year, okay, and exams, okay, and this is a time when they're really able to get some work done in those sessions. Saturday, this will be just the odd Saturday for a catch-up session if the pupil is very behind on their artwork for any reason. We're going to offer out a few Saturday mornings where they can come in and they can actually work in this time to actually catch up and sort of make sure that they're on top of things. And also we have Wednesday lunch. So how can parents help at home? Invest in a small sketchbook to fill out the ideas relating to the projects, some extra art equipment for birthday or Christmases. We do have a letter that goes out that says all of the equipment that they need, and we have obviously some equipment in school. We give the students their sketchbook, so each student will be given a sketchbook, and drawing and sketching of objects in the small sketchbook to improve their observational skills, making sure that they're relating it to their project. This sketchbook very much needs to relate to the project that they're working on. Make sure the student is linking these objects to the projects. You can take your children to galleries and museums in the holidays, make a trip up to London to some of the many free galleries and museums. When they are there, they can choose 2 pieces to draw and make links with the projects that they're working on. And they can take photographs of these and they can go into their sketchbooks. These add on to their actual marks, okay? Ensuring that they're working on their sketchbook for 2 hours a week of independent study if no homework is required. Get them to ask, what if I created a pencil drawing? What if I created a painting? What if I overlapped my images? Okay, so this what if I allows for them to say what could they create next. Okay, space at home for the students to work. Studio times need to be used as they are working with the equipment for their exam pieces. Okay, so the galleries, Hayward Gallery, Tate Modern, the Photographers, Royal Academy of Arts, Barbican. These are just some of the galleries that are available in London. So examples of lesson delivery. So I'm going to show you another lesson, which is a sculpture 3D lesson, where the pupils will be looking at fruit sculptures and artists that inspire their work. So we start off with some artists, and these are some famous artists. They will then use words and descriptions to look at these, and they will then they're asked to create a number of small abstract sculptures inspired by Brancusi or Deacon, using different materials and techniques for breaking and remaking them. So this is part of the make and break project. So they're breaking down the fruits and remaking them into something else. They will title their maquettes and sculptures. They'll have the list of materials and note down the artists that they strongly link their works to. And we assess them against the GCSE levels like this. So assessing their sculptures. So 987 will show these elements within them. Imaginative range of sophisticated original ideas, showing outstanding skills. The sculpture skills will be materials are fully explored, cutting, scoring is accurate, works are balanced and creatively the arrangement is dynamic of these sculptures. Work strongly connects to other artists, but developed in a very personal way. Okay, so you can see their own personal level, but how the artist has influenced them. Okay, and again, this goes down in, so for 6, 5s and 4s, it'll be a range of ideas, and 3, 2 and 1 will be some ideas are starting but unresolved or finished. We don't really tend to have any pupils who are down here at this bottom area, because they should be able to show a range of ideas showing individuality and skills. So we are looking at really pushing the students from a 4 upwards. Okay, these are some examples of abstract fruit sculptures. These are some of their ones that they've created, and from these photographs pupils will create their own drawings and sketches from these, which go into their artist's book, and then they can use different materials, and this is a sort of really great project to start them off on, and then they're able to get into their own personal areas that they're looking at. So if you have any questions about art, please email me. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I'm really excited to see where their projects and their books go, and I really know that they will be able to produce some really fantastic work. The one main message I can give overall for the art is they need to be using the studio times to get the best out of the equipment and art that we've got in the school, and having those times and that extra really benefits the students. So please, can you ensure that they're coming along to those studio times and are committed into them. Okay, thank you very much and speak to you soon.